Atoya Harvey of Guyana came into this final having already run 2 races that day. A 1,500-meter gold the night before, an 800-meter qualifying effort earlier on day 2, and now the 3,000-meter final at the CARIFTA Games, the longest event on her schedule, and the one that would demand a finishing kick she had never needed to conserve for until this moment. Jamaica's Samantha Price and Atoya Harvey were waiting. Price in particular had been quiet through the early rounds, giving nothing away about her closing speed. The first kilometer would come through at a pace that told every athlete in the field exactly what kind of race this was going to be. Not a time trial, not a grind, but a chess match that would end in a sprint. 3 athletes, 3 different racing profiles. 1 bell lap that would settle it all. Watch closely from the gun, and pay particular attention to where each runner positions herself with 2 laps remaining.
Open final for girls. Championship record 9 minutes 50.56. There's the lineup. Janicia Williams of St. Kitts and Nevis, Kira Lambert of US Virgin Islands, Samantha Price of Jamaica, Atoya Harvey also of Jamaica, Mallory Mears, Belize, Tanisha Gardner of Turks and Caicos, and Atoya Harvey, the 1500 champion representing Guyana. Also in the 800 final, Harvey.
2:15.75 to qualify in the 800 meters, looking comfortable. So while she's conserving energy now, has a triple on her mind, already has gold from the 1500 meters yesterday.
We'll be skipping between the 3000 meters for under-20 girls and the triple jump final for under-17 boys, which will be in the final round shortly.
Price, the top Jamaican, at 3000 meters, has to be alert to the sharp finishing speed of Harvey, the Guyanese. And if she needs to, she has to press the pace.
So there they go for the 3000. 2 Jamaicans in the lineup, Price and Harvey. The 1500 champion, Atoya Harvey of Guyana, also in the mix. She's in 4th position. Showed tremendous confidence in qualifying for the final of the 800 meters earlier today. And once again she gets close. 7.5 laps of the track, the 3000 meters. And we're looking at action for another 10 to 12 minutes in this event.
Freighter leads for Jamaica, the 800 champion, 1500 meter champion, 2:08. Harvey, the Guyanese, is in 2nd, and the top Jamaican in this event is Samantha Price. She's in 3rd. These 3 beginning, Ricardo, to separate from the rest of the field as they come through past the grandstand straight away again. First full lap about to be completed.
Freighter comfortable at the top.
It's a doable triple for Harvey because the entry in this event, the 3000, doesn't require any preliminary rounds. She's run the 15, was that just 1 race? And the 800 has 1 race to the final. She's done that already. Freight up the back straight away. Harvey in 2nd in the red shorts. Price content to track them in 3rd place. These 3 20 meters clear, maybe more than that, over the rest of the field. That's Freighter 2:36, Harvey 2:28, and tucked in behind him with her head down, as usual, Samantha Price, focused on those ahead of her.
Yeah. Harvey, the Guyanese, now just taking charge of the race. We saw what she could do in the 1500 final last night. She wasn't afraid to lead. She clearly enjoys the competition, and she has the lead in this 3000 final. Atoya Harvey. Here is Chavez Penn in the triple jump, the high jump champion earlier today, and he has the lead in the triple jump final as well. 14.63, his leading mark. Hubert Lawrence did say it's Penn's day.
He's feeling good. This is Chavez Penn Day. Rose to 206 to get the high jump gold medal. No limits on this day when you're feeling so good. And here he is, the breeze tugging at his singlet. 2 falls, his best jump in the first round, 14.63. Wants to crack it up in round number 6. And that number 1 at the top side of the graphic shows he's in command.
Chavez Penn of Jamaica, triple jump leader, 14.63. Hubert came across from the high jump final and did the business on his very first jump, 14.63.
Schedule doesn't sympathize with high jump, triple jump as a combination, but he came across warm from the high jump and came in at full speed and jumped out to 14.63, on the verge of a second gold medal in 2 hours.
Enjoy the band in the background as Chavez Penn, the high jump under 17 champion, a surprise winner in the high jump. Nothing surprising about this triple jump effort. Looking for a sweet Sunday double. 6th and final effort. Last jump of the under 17 triple. Chavez Penn. The Jamaican speeds down the runway. Oh, that is big. Terrific way to end Super Sunday for Chavez Penn. 2 gold medals, 2.06 personal best in the high jump, and now he goes big in the final round of the triple.
Best jump so far, 14.63. This looks better. Good speed on the runway, gathers himself, nice wide open jump phase, steps into, blows into the pit. Chavez Penn Sunday at CARIFTA.
14.22 coming into CARIFTA, 14.41 on his final effort. The 14.63 is what will do the business for Chavez Penn. What an afternoon for him.
He'll never forget this day. Gold everywhere he turns.
And to his left in that last shot, as Hubert pointed out earlier, a former Jamaican long jump champion twice, Ramon Bailey, back with the 3000.
The first kilometer, 3 minutes 29.6. We're heading for the second kilometer marker with Harvey of Guyana in the red shorts on the inside leading. The Jamaican number 1, Samantha Price. They've broken Freighter, she's in third and fading away from the 2 leaders. A battle for gold and silver up front.
Harvey on the inside, Samantha Price on the outside. Harvey 228, the 1500 champion, represents the Running Braves Athletic Club in Guyana. Found it interesting, Hubert, that she says she trains twice a week. Very much focused on balancing track and field with her academic studies.
3:45 second kilometer, so going a bit slower. You can see them jogging together. They're waiting to race for the gold medal in the final stages.
Harvey has shown quality at 800. She's done so at 1500 meters as well. And to me, she looks the more comfortable of the 2.
Price has run some brilliant 4x8 splits for her high school homewood this season. clocked one of them in 2:07.5, so she may fancy herself in a foot race even against someone as nippy as Harvey.
They're coming up to 2 laps to go. Harvey and Price, Jamaica and Guyana, right together in the 3004 under-20 girls final.
Price cuts across sharply. Harvey, little adroit sidestep to the left, avoids the contact. But now it's the Jamaican who leads the Guyanese. Harvey nipping at her shoulder. Price just in the lead.
Yeah, Harvey beating Kaylee Ford of Trinidad and Tobago and Khadija Coombs of Jamaica in the 1500 final last night. That was the under 17 category. And in the under 20 girls 1500, Samantha Price lost to Rakisha Sims, her Jamaican teammate. And in this open 3000 meters, they meet.
Price a little bit older than Harvey, stronger, outgoing high school senior, has worked brilliantly in training, I'm told, by our coach Dave Anderson. And here starts to push the pace a little bit, trying to get some precious margin over the precocious Harvey of Guyana. They're circling together, coming up now.
The bell sounds. The Jamaican has a slight advantage with under 400 meters to run. Harvey is sticking to her and not letting her go. The crowd will get into this one, I think. Samantha Price steps up the pace as they head down the back stretch. Harvey still close. You get the feeling there's still a sprint finish
in both of them,
for sure. But it's Samantha Price who is willing to push the pace, and she's opening up. Oh, this is impressive. I don't think Harvey has a response to the Jamaican. Oh, she's opened up 15 meters, and the crowd is going wild. Samantha Price kicks big down the stretch. Silver medal in the under-20 1500 meters last night. Samantha Price is racing to CARIFTA Gold over 3000 meters. She sprints away from the highly impressive Harvey of Guyana and secures gold. That's a brilliant performance, 10:40.07.
Price, the champion, reward for a fine season. Won this event at our high school championships just last week and comes through a nice balanced race. That last kilometer, Ricardo, 3:25 flat, and Asaria Freighter comes through for the bronze medal.
10 minutes 40.07 for Samantha Price.
Her newfound speed, her height fitness in 2022 gets her clear of this girl Harvey, already gold at 1500 meters under 17, Price under 20, but still gold is gold.
Atoya Harvey adds 3,000 silver to her 1500 under 17 gold. Freighter has a bronze medal. Kira Lampert of the US Virgin Islands coming through now. Get the feeling, Hubert, that you had no doubt that Samantha Price had it in her to pull off that victory.
Impressed with her this season. Checked on her with the Homewood crew, Dave Anderson. Said she's been very diligent in practice, and when I saw her 2:075 800 meter split, I think it was at the Gibson Cook relays on anchor on the medley, I knew she was ready to speed.
Tanisha Gardner of the Turks and Caicos Islands completing this 3,000 meter trek. 7.5 grueling laps of the track. Just stopped before the line. Now she completes the trip.
Freighter led early for Jamaica. Harvey at her shoulder. Price biding her time. They had company from Myers of Belize, but soon these two ladies, Price in the bright yellow and Harvey, the precocious Guyanese, 228, broke away, and it was a little bit cat and mouse until Price stepped up the pace on the last lap and broke into a full sprint with her newfound speed. There it is, high knees, and pulled it straight away for the 3,000 meter champion at Champs last week for her school and here for her country inside the National Stadium.
10 minutes 40.07, the winning time for Samantha Price. Harvey 10:51.40, taking silver, and Atoya Harvey, the Jamaican bronze, 11 minutes 03.76.
10 minutes and 40.7 seconds. That's how long it took Samantha Price to dismantle one of the most tactically charged distance races in recent CARIFTA history. But the finishing time tells you almost nothing. What actually decided this race happened earlier, in a 12-second window on the back straight of the bell lap, when Price accelerated from controlled pace to a closing surge that Atoya Harvey simply could not answer. The question this breakdown answers is specific. How does a runner in a tactical 3,000 meters, a race that passed through 2 kilometers at a pace deliberately slower than race pace, suddenly produce a sprint powerful enough to open a gap that holds to the line? The answer involves lactate management, stride frequency shifts, and a positioning decision Price made with exactly 2 laps remaining. First, the context. Atoya Harvey of Guyana entered this race in a condition that should make any physiology student wince. She had run the 1,500 meters final the night before and had already competed in the 800 meters on the same day as this final. 3 races, 2 distances, 1 championship window. Her aerobic base was clearly exceptional. You don't win a 1500 and qualify in the 800 on the same day without serious cardiovascular infrastructure. But accumulated lactate across multiple race efforts is not a debt you fully repay overnight. Harvey carried fatigue into this race that was invisible to the eye and untracked in the official data, but entirely real at the muscular level. What's most surprising about this race isn't that Harvey was beaten. It's that she led through the most demanding tactical phase and still had enough left to run 10:51. That number tells you Harvey ran an excellent race. It tells you Price ran a better one. The opening kilometer came through in 3:29.6. Convert that to per lap pace, and you get roughly 2:19 per 800 meters. Controlled, not aggressive, well below what either athlete could sustain as a true threshold effort. This is the first analytical clue. When a 3,000 meters passes through the first kilometer at 3:29, the field is not racing the clock. They're racing each other. Slowing the tempo is a tactical weapon. It compresses the field, eliminates the advantage of pure aerobic capacity, and shifts the outcome toward whoever has the sharpest neuromuscular response in the final 400 meters. Price understood this. Harvey understood this too, which is why she moved to the front midway through the race rather than sitting and waiting. Taking the lead in a slow tactical race is a double-edged move. It lets you control tempo and avoid being boxed. It also means you absorb the wind. You set the rhythm for everyone else, and you spend slightly more energy than the runner sitting one stride behind you. Over 600 meters of controlled leading, that differential is small. Over the final lap, it can matter. Here's the detail that requires a second look. Price didn't wait for the bell. She moved to the front with 2 laps remaining, forcing Harvey to react rather than initiate. By moving early, she risked pulling Harvey through the pace and setting up a sprint she might lose. Harvey's 800-meter background suggested dangerous finishing speed. Put yourself in Price's position. You're committing to the front with 800 meters left against an athlete who has proven she can close hard across multiple events in a single day. Not a comfortable gamble. It worked because Price's acceleration on the bell lap wasn't a gradual build. It was a sharp, committed increase in stride frequency that Harvey couldn't match. In distance running, the decisive surge is rarely about top speed. It's about the rate of acceleration relative to the pace you were holding. When Price increased tempo on the back straight of the final lap, she forced Harvey's legs, already taxed across 3 events, to recruit fast-twitch fibers that hadn't fully recovered. Harvey couldn't respond with the same sharpness. The gap opened. It didn't close. Price crossed in 10:40.7. Harvey finished in 10:51.4. A margin of 10.7 seconds in a 3,000 meters is not a near miss. It's a decisive result. Frater took bronze, completing a podium that shows real depth in Caribbean women's distance running. Here's what this tells us about under-20 distance racing. The tactical 3,000 meters rewards athletes who can shift gears, not just athletes who can sustain pace. The runner who wins is usually the one who forces the decisive moment, rather than waiting for it. Price forced it. Harvey reacted. That sequence, initiation versus reaction, is where races at this level are actually decided. What should you watch for the next time you see a distance final at this level? Track the 2-lap to-go mark. Watch which athlete moves first, and whether the others respond immediately or absorb the pace change for half a lap before reacting. A half-lap delayed reaction in a 3,000 meters costs you roughly 4 seconds of gap, which is close to exactly what separated Price from Harvey at the line. Comment below, do you think Harvey's multi-event schedule was the deciding factor, or would Price have won this race regardless? That debate has a real answer buried in the splits, and we read every comment. If you want to understand how the physiology of multi-event fatigue actually shows up in race footage, the subtle stride shortening, the arm carry shifting, that breakdown is next. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Like this video if the tactical breakdown gave you something new to watch for. Every like tells the algorithm this kind of analysis is worth surfacing. See you in the next one.